It has recently come to my attention that I use 8 different notebooks. I am using 8 notebooks actively for one reason or another. I don't know if that's a lot or if that's just a lot for me, but I thought it was interesting. And so today I'm going to be showing you all 8 of the notebooks that I'm currently using and what I'm using them all for. Okay, so we've got 8 notebooks. The very first one matches the cutting board. It's the Everyday Carry, aka my field notes. The very first notebook of the 8 that I'm using is my EDC notebook. This is the one I carry on me every day. This is where everything goes. This is like the catch-all. I have this on me in my pocket. I carry it with my Pilot G2 as well as a red Pilot G2 for special things, and it all comes in. This is now what's called the Rigger pouch, formerly known as the Zipmate. My EDC pouch, use it literally use it every day. I love it. And then my notebook just kind of lives in the back here, just kind of like that. But this is where any thoughts, any lists, anything goes. And most of my field notes I stamp with the channel logo on the back. I think it makes them unique, makes them kind of cool, makes them mine. In the back, I've sort of adopted a post-it system. I have a list for things to buy, a list for books that I want, a list for video ideas, and a list for just things to do. This is sort of a rough system. I'm kind of in and out of using it. Usually at the end of each notebook, I'll go back through and then add things to these, and then I'll transfer these post-its to the next notebook that I'm on. Either way, we have a lot of notebooks to go through. This is the EDC notebook, just the field notes. We're moving on. The next notebook is actually also a field notes, but it's held inside of a mini field journal from Lockbee. I really love this thing, actually. I made a review on it here on the channel. You can check it out. But this is the Sketchbook. I started a sketchbook probably a few months ago. I used to draw all the time. I've gotten away from it, so this is an effort to get back into it. I've got a few different types of, like a Sharpie, a fine tip Sharpie, a mechanical pencil, and then an ink pen for making drawings. And then in the back, I also have one of these. This is just like a random sketchbook brand from Walmart, but this is kind of more like your traditional sketchbook, the type of paper it is and stuff. I keep it in the back as a backup, which I have yet to need. But what I did for this one is I went on each page and I wrote a prompt for a thing to draw on every page of the field notes. That way I could fill it up with drawings exclusively. Life got busy. I got away from it, but it's still pretty full. This is the start of it. Draw whatever's directly in front of you. Draw the heaviest thing in whatever room you're in. Draw your watch only using one line. This one I thought was really cool. My goal is to make a video going through this whole thing once I fill it up completely. Right now, it's still a work in progress, but that's okay. The next one is it's held in another Lockbee. This is the Lockbee Pocket Journal. I have one of these super nice Z-grip pens. Unzip it. This is the build book. This has been featured in quite a handful of videos. Basically, if I'm going to build something, any plans, anything like that, it goes in here. And actually, this is almost a year old. That's kind of awesome. But this is the dot grid. Good, really good for making plans, drawing out diagrams, making lists for things I want to make, things I want to build for the studio or otherwise. Lots of really cool ideas I've put in here. And I'm actually, well over halfway through the book, and I've got plenty of ideas in here that I've yet to actually make. But this pocket journal has pockets. I've got one of my custom rulers in there, and again, I keep the pen up front. This thing is really great. Every time I go to Menards or anything, I take this with me to have my plan and my list of materials that I need. That way I can gather things as well as maybe make any adjustments to the plan or to what I'm getting on the fly. Now, as of recently, I've been more into starting a notebook for a specific task. The build book has sort of inspired me for that. So I've got a book. I've actually got 3 different books I'm going to bust out here. 3 different notebooks for 3 different types of video ideas. So one I have, first of all, let's start with the main video idea book. This is one of those Moleskine classic notebooks. This is the pocket-sized one. I recently put the label on the front. This is video ideas. And this is essentially an aggregation of all the video ideas from within my Everyday Carry notebook. So I'll come up with a video idea in my notebook here, and I'll go back through, transfer any video ideas to this notebook. This is for main channel, long form videos. There's some short form stuff in here, but we'll get into that in just a minute. And then as an extension of that, I'm gonna leave it out actually. As an extension of this notebook, I have a newly created shorts ideas. Had to customize the cover a little bit. Did it like the old school mini composition books. I wanted to have an excuse to use these again, so having them for a specific purpose is a really great way for me to do that. I've labeled the spine, shorts ideas, got ideas for some short form stuff. I've got a page and a half worth. I just recently started doing this, but I've taken the ideas out of here that were shorts or could be used as short ideas, thrown them in here. And every time I've come up with a short form idea, I'll just throw it in this notebook. It's a really great system because I want to get back into consistently posting short form stuff. And now the goal, right? The ultimate goal, or at least the ultimate short-term goal, is to take the channel full time. I want to do YouTube, make videos about all this fun stuff for a living. I make money on it now, but not enough to live on and to sustain. So the goal is to get it to that point. Side note, if you want to help in those efforts, join the Patreon, shop at the affiliate links in the description, and watch the videos all the way through. Those are the 3 greatest ways to help. Oh, there's also merch, which we'll get to in a minute. But this notebook is my second channel, the Just Garrett Ideas. If you remember, I did a daily vlog over there for like a bunch of days in a row. It was all one take. It was just like with my phone usually. I would just talk about, it was like a journal entry. Every day was just like rambling to the camera, post it, and it was fun. This has ideas for different projects I want to do on that channel in the future. That will be, the idea for that anyway, is like make it into my vlog channel. And when the channel becomes full-time and I have time to do all this stuff, these will begin production. Moving on to the last 2 notebooks I have. This is the one I was talking about as far as merch goes. The Creative Person Journal. These, as well as these, are available on the merch site down below. There's the Creative Person Journal, and then there's Creative Person Spiral Notebook. What I'm using this one for is an idea that I've had for a very, very long time. I want to, at one point or another, I want to write a book. And in doing so, I need somewhere to draft my ideas. So I've started to use this as that book. So this journal will be where I draft and redraft my book. I don't know what it will be called or be about, but it will live and grow here. And so in here, I've already posted this on Patreon. So you could, if you want to see entries from this book, go to my Patreon, $3 a month. But this is where I will draft book ideas, whether it's like a chapter or a sentence or whatever. Any sort of idea I have for my book, I'll put here. I'm really excited for that project. This is going to be one of those really long-term projects that I just like piddle on here and there, and then over the course of a decade, I'll get it made perhaps. And the final notebook of the 8 notebooks that I'm using actively is this one. This is the Chicago edition, or I forget what this is called. This is the Chicago Look edition of Field Notes. These are ginormous compared to the standard 6x8 giant notebooks, and they are grid layout, and I really like them actually. They're quite cool. What I've been using this one for is, if you ever see in a video where I'm like writing, making a list, doing a diagram, something like that, this is that book. 3 main differences: strength, lid, handles. This book will predominantly be used for diagrams, visuals, etc. in the YouTube videos. Started on April 8th. This is whenever these editions came out. I use them for these because they have the larger paper, and so it makes, you know, like this fits in the center third of the shot. These are also great for, I use a lot of these for different texts. So like in the thumbnails, you see the word custom or the word field notes or the word, like an arrow or something. I'll draw that, or I'll write that rather, on this paper, take a picture of it, go to Photoshop, cut it out, and then paste it on the thumbnail and like adjust it. And it's actually this notebook's staple day. So we are halfway through this one. So this is the 8th notebook that I am actively using. So these are the 8 notebooks that I'm actively using. I had no idea I was using that many, like actively, but it turns out I am. I find it kind of nice using different notebooks for different things as I'm starting to learn, because it really separates this idea from this idea from this idea, and it kind of allows me to shift my focus when I'm writing about a certain thing. If I'm writing in my book drafting notebook, I'm working on that idea. If I'm working on a short idea, I'm writing that in the shorts ideas notebook. So I'm able to categorize the things that I think about, the things that I write about, different sections. It works for me, at least right now. Maybe it changes in time. Maybe I don't like it eventually. Maybe I love it. Maybe I expand on it. Maybe I wind up using 30 different notebooks. I don't know. Let me know how many different notebooks you use down in the comments. Once again, join the Patreon for exclusive content. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Bye-bye.